welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's doing well. It is Friday, so just want to jump on and show you what sold like overnight. So I had some pretty good sales overnight. I'm surprised, but I'm kind of being a little more diligent in posting on all of these platforms. And yeah, so let's get started with the simple things. Then I'm going to talk about where, once again, running a business, I'm not doing the right thing. I'm not organized like I was when I first started. Once I started accumulating all of this stuff, like my organization has just gone to hell. And it will take me probably weeks to get to where I think I should be when it comes to organizing. Yeah, so anyway, we'll start off with what sold in the past 24 hours. This literally just sold a few minutes ago. Now this was on Vinted, some thigh highs, like support hose. And I have a whole bunch of them up there that I found in the at the Weigh and Pay Goodwill last year sometime. So I only sold these. I think I put them on for $6 and the lady offered $4. Absolutely, you can have it. So that's that. I have this John Frieda Duo. This is a nourishing shampoo. I had probably about 4 or 5 sets of these that I put on all of the platforms, and somebody offered $15. I had them on Poshmark for $20, and actually somebody actually bought them for $20, maybe last month or the month before. She offered $15. It's my last 2. I'm not gonna argue. Again, I want to move stuff out of my inventory, so I accepted a $15 offer. Poshmark. That 20% just be killing you. So with me selling this for $15, I'm only going to get $12, which is probably the cost of one. But it is what it is. That's the reselling business. You got to pay the platforms in order to get your stuff out there. So anyway, this has been sitting in my inventory for a long time. I can't remember exactly where I got it from. I probably got it from one of the bin stores, maybe like on a $6 day or something like that. But this is called Breezy Back. It's a car vent extender system, so you can use it with your heat in your car or your AC. So it's basically a tube that you connect to your vent in your car, and the tube, you just track it back to your back seat for your little kiddos. So, you know, when it's hot out, it won't take so long for the back seat area to cool off. So, and it's open box, clearly open box, was put in the description. So I had this on for, I think, $55. It never really got any play. But somebody actually offered me, no, they put a like on it on Poshmark. So I offered 38. She countered with 30. Honey, you can take it. Again, we're getting stuff out of this inventory. So that was that. And on a previous video, I mentioned that I'm not going to be doing Whatnot live selling for a while because I'm not getting any customers. I'm not getting any orders. And it's like a waste of time to be on for 2 hours and not make a penny. So I said I can use those 2 hours to do whatever else I need to do to organize this business. But I still will list on Whatnot in my shop, because occasionally, maybe 2 or 3 times a month, somebody will just buy something randomly. And somebody bought this keyboard. And let me tell you about this keyboard. Oh, and they paid $26 for it. I had it listed for $26, and I do accept offers. I don't know how it looks on the other end for the buyer, if it asks them, you know, to if it will ask them if they want to offer me a lower price. Because once somebody did, will you accept a lower price? I said yes, But apparently this person didn't want to try to negotiate. They bought it full price at my asking price of $26. So I was happy with that. Oh, this keyboard, I have two of them. One is open box, one is actually sealed. And I don't know why, I only had this one listed. But here's another, I was going to talk about my mistakes in when it comes to my reselling business, is that I order so much shit that I will have boxes of stuff. Instead of listing my items right away, either the same day, the next day, or even within that week, I let things sit. And then I get overwhelmed, and then I may have a day off where I start listing items. But then I may only list, 10 to 15 items for that day, but I still have a whole lot of inventory that's not listed. This was only listed on eBay, and it was listed on, I think it was listed on Mercari. I think it was listed on Mercari. I had not listed it on Poshmark, but just the other day, I said, Valerie, you need to make sure that you listed these things. So I'm going through, and I listed it on Whatnot, I think last week or this past weekend. It sold. So all of this time, I could have been making money. So I did go ahead and list the one that's brand new and sealed on Whatnot, but at a higher price. So that's that. Got $26. And then this is my highest profit item that I've had. Have I ever sold anything higher than this? Probably not. But this is a vitamin C night cream, Napara. Now, I have sold some body cream by this brand, Napara, for like 30 something bucks. But this is a pretty high-end brand. Let me see if I can look up the original price of this. Napara. Is this the night cream? Yeah, it's different packaging now, but on their website, it's $250. So I had it on all of the platforms actually for $99, and it finally sold. The person didn't even try to negotiate, thank goodness, but it sold $99 on Poshmark. So my net profit was $79 on this, and I am so grateful. So I'm going to package all of these things up right now. I do have to wait another hour because on Poshmark, if they just buy something straight out of your closet, you cannot print out a label for 3 hours because they have 3 hours to cancel. So I got one more hour, but as soon as that hour is up, honey, I'm packing this stuff up and I'm shipping it out right away. So anyway, those are items that sold within the last 24 hours for me. So what's that, 80? The keyboard was 26, so that's 106. This was 12, net profit of 12. So, and the breezy thing was 30. So I made about 140 so far. I'm satisfied with that. I'm satisfied with that. But anyway, yeah, one of my mistakes is buying so much stuff and not posting it immediately. Like the clothing. I think in a previous video I had a box of clothes, and I'm only maybe halfway through taking pictures and listing it. I should have done it on other days because I had all these days off from work, but I didn't. Sometimes I'm just tired and I don't feel like doing it. And another thing is I'm on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Whatnot, and now Vinted. So that's 5 different places I would have to copy, paste, the description and the photos. The pricing is sometimes different. It's always higher on Poshmark because they take 20% off. And I do not have a listing service. Maybe I should go ahead and subscribe to a listing service that will automatically list on all of your platforms except Vinted. Vinted, you cannot use a subscription service like that to list items. I may think about doing that. Long time ago when I first started reselling, I was on, it wasn't Vendu, it was something else, another listing service. And it did help, but at that time, I don't think that it would, if it sold on one platform, it would automatically take it off of the other platform. I'm sure they've upgraded things by now, but when I thought about it and I actually canceled the service, I'm like, Valerie, you got time. You can just, if you sold one item, it's not like I was selling thousands of items per month. So I decided to cancel that service. I believe it was maybe something like, was it $39 or $49 a month? Plus, I'm cheap. If I can do it myself without having to pay, then I'm going to do it myself without having to pay. But now that I'm on 5 platforms, I'm going to have to think about it, because what sold on, let me see, I think it was this. When this sold, I went to Movavi to delist it, and I saw so many items that are inactive on Movavi, or items that I had already sold on other platforms. I said, let me just stick with Movavi right now and go down each item. Unfortunately, I was doing it on my phone and I was doing it one at a time. I finally decided to get on my computer and do it bulk, do it all at once. But I had so many items that I had sold on other platforms still listed on Movavi. So of course I deleted those. And then I had dozens of items that were inactive that I inactivated on Movavi, because in my mind when I first started, I thought, if somebody returns something, then I won't have to relist it. I can just, if someone's bought something on a different platform, I would inactivate it on Movavi. And if they returned it or whatever the case may be, I can just reactivate it. And that's what I was doing. I've never had a return. Maybe once. I think maybe once I had a return on an item. So from now on, I'm just gonna not deactivate. I'm just gonna delete the items on the corresponding platform or on the platform that it did not sell on. So anyway, I just wanted to jump on here and chit chat for a bit. It's time to get back to work. I had almost 7 days off from work, and it was just so nice to wake up and not have to have plans. I say almost 7 because on Monday, at my day job, same day surgery, they had not nobody to work. They needed a second nurse. You have to have at least 2 nurses, and one nurse called off. So I went in to help from like 4 to 7:30. It was only a 3.5 hour shift. And then they asked me, can I work Tuesday? I thought about it. I'm like, no, I want my day off. I had nothing to do except work around the house. So I said no. Then they asked me if I could work on Wednesday. I'm like, no, I don't want to. I want my day off. And then I thought, Valerie, when you say no, leave it alone. Don't feel guilty. I was feeling guilty, but no. They're a hospital. They will survive. They can hire agency. They can do whatever, because you just have to have 2 nurses present. And guess what? I went into work. It was scheduled yesterday. And guess what? They survived. So with that being said, whenever they call me into work, if I don't feel like going, don't feel guilty about saying no. And number 2, if I do agree to go into work and I'm not scheduled that day, they have to pay me callback pay. And that's what I did last Friday. They were desperate for help, and the director, because we don't have a manager, They just hired a charge nurse who is literally in orientation. The director offered me callback pay on that Friday. I'm like, yeah, I'll come in. And then on Monday, the charge nurse who was just, she asked if I could come in. And I went ahead, that's when I went ahead and went in. But I'm like, girl, just write callback pay in the book. So I did that. We'll see if they actually pay me callback pay because they needed me. They had nobody else. So anyway, yeah, don't feel guilty about saying no. And when you do say yes, ask for that extra money in exchange, because otherwise, guess what? They would have to call in a nurse from, I think it's called Health Trust, or call in an agency nurse, or do it themselves. And you know, management, they ain't about to get their hands dirty. So anyway, that's all I have for you guys. I'm going to pack up my orders, get my mind right, because I have to go into my night job tonight. 2 nights in a row. Whew. I don't like doing 2 12-hour shifts, night shifts in a row. But I'm going to try to start doing that more often so that I can have stretches of days off. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.